Hi, I'm Chris, one of the senior portfolio managers at Hackstons. You join me today outside of Mathura in Westminster, an Indian-style restaurant headed up by the celebrity chef Atul Kochhar. We're about a 5 minutes walk from Victoria train station and roughly the same again from Parliament Square, and we're going to go inside and talk to Pravin, the head of operations, and learn a little bit more about the whiskey market. So come on inside.
Hello Chris, welcome to Mathura.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Thanks for having us.
It's a great
Now,
pleasure.
I've just noticed something. It's an incredible looking restaurant, that goes without saying. Is that a fire pole?
Yes, it is. As the building itself, it used to be the old Westminster Fire Station, and that's actually the fireman's pole.
I thought it looked authentic, and it turns out it is. But I'll ask you a bit more about that in a second. But
Definitely.
tell us a bit about yourself. How long have you been in the industry?
I've been in this industry for the last 17 years. I mean,
Oh, wow.
yes, I was back home. I got a few of my uncle's restaurant. I used to hang out there. Moved in this country. I was doing my travel and tourism. Then I got a job in this hospitality. And this was something I left my travel and tourism, and I got stuck to this industry. The main reason behind was the skills, the elegance, the bar, the food and everything really got me into. And the customer service that this place does and any kind of restaurant does, it's a great impact and it's a great pleasure that end of the day.
Well, we've only been inside a few seconds, and I'm already feeling that atmosphere and that ambiance. But let's take a seat if we can,
Sure,
because I've got a lot of questions to ask.
Please.
So Pravin, obviously there's a little bit of history to this restaurant. Tell me a bit more about it.
Yes, it's an historical place. I mean, it used to be the old Westminster Fire Station, built in 1906.
Wow.
Used to do the community service. We have taken it over now. It's a restaurant, and exactly we're doing the same. Community service, serving people, making them have a great time with us. And yeah, I mean, you could see the fireman's pole, which is around the bar there.
Yeah.
We have kept it and try to keep it as original as possible. And we kept it in a way that as soon as people come in, it attracts people. And
Well, it was the first thing I saw when I came in. I think it's fantastic that you've actually left it there and it's become part of that table. Has that table got a special name?
yeah, it's called 1906.
1906.
It's the time when the building was built.
And presumably you don't have 1,906 seats.
No,
How many do
we
you
don't.
have?
We have 180 covers.
Okay.
So we have 2 private dining rooms, which we call it as a watch room, which takes up to 8 guests, and which is a nice small room for birthday celebrations and things like that. Apart from that, we have a cushion dynasty room, which takes up to 22 guests. Plus, we go downstairs as well, which takes up around 80 covers, and we have a chef's table there. If you want to book that in, you need to go for the tasting menu, and chef himself, he explains the dishes and he serves you.
I think I'm definitely going to have to try and book that table myself. On that note, how many whiskies have you got?
We have 24 different whiskies,
Okay.
and we have whiskies from Scotland, America, Ireland, India, Taiwan, and Japan.
So that's a pretty big spread. Often
Yeah.
there's this debate between, Irish, Scotch, and bourbon and rye.
True.
But sometimes people forget the rest of the world. I'm fascinated that you mentioned Taiwan there.
Yes, it is.
Not often an area that you
No.
associate with whiskey production.
Absolutely. I
So-
mean, Kalawan is much more, we got it and we tasted it, it has a bit of smoky texture, and we felt that there is some spices inside as well. Where Indian cuisine is much more about spices. And as soon as we tried it, I mean, for me it was much more smokier, but as soon as put ice in it, it diluted, and the way I got the aromas from that, and I really could get into the spicy element to that, and it really blew my mind, and I said, yes, that's where the nominee.
So often with luxury goods like whiskey, champagne, and wine, people have a fascination for the very top end.
The high-end, yes.
What's the most expensive whiskey you stock?
I mean, the one we have is a Glenmorangie Signet, which is much more a Highland whiskey, has a bit of chocolatey finish. Absolutely amazing to finish off your dinner, or even if you want to keep going on with that.
Yeah.
Apart from that, we have our Blue Label, which again is one of the easiest selling, I would say. I mean, people just buy it.
Everyone knows it.
Everybody
don't they?
knows it, yes. You don't even need to explain what it is, how to have it, something of that sort.
And we're talking about stuff that is, it's an expensive product because it's of such a high quality.
True.
Being the head of operations and managing what the restaurant purchases and stocks, what have you noticed about the prices in, let's say, the last year and a half, 2 years?
I mean, people are getting more into high quality good. After lockdown, people actually understood, and they want to really experience best things that they want to eat, eating the best dinner, tasting menus, things like that. At the same time, quality wines, quality whiskies. So people started knowing more about it, and I think they've been educated in a way, where the places they go, and they meet different kind of maitre d's or the bartenders or something. So yes, this is how they learn as well about different products.
100%. And I think more and more we're seeing a trend, towards people drinking less, but drinking the best.
Best, it's true.
So it's no longer just, anything will do.
Absolutely.
They want to enjoy those high-end products.
True.
But as well as that, I think we're seeing a shift towards, more people enjoying whiskey. Traditionally, we all know that stereotype of the only whiskey drinker is an old gentleman in a robe and slippers, enjoying a cigar perhaps, and drinking whiskey. Have you noticed different kinds of people, different ages drinking high-end whiskey?
I mean, it's different ages has drinking their own different kinds of thing. Like when you see a mid-age from 30 to 40, yes, you see these people into much more of a cocktail. It could be a Manhattan, it could be a whiskey sour, or it could be an old-fashioned. Where people a bit more older, they know what they really want to have and exactly how they want their whiskeys. And being honest, you don't even need a whiskey list. They themselves know what they want to have. And people, those kind of people, they expect the drinks that they like have. So that's the reason we have like an extensive whiskey list, which is 24. And we have much of the premium products that people get into.
Well, it's quite a list, but you mentioned cocktails there.
Yeah.
I think this is the point at which we're going to enjoy some of the products.
Definitely.
And it's not going to be yourself, I think.
No,
somebody's going to make me a cocktail.
I would love to make it, but I don't think so I'm the right guy. But yes, we got Sandron, our head bartender of Mathura, and he will be looking after you.
Well, I can't wait, so let's jump in.
Please. Chris, let me take you to the bar and introduce you to our lovely head bartender, Sandron.
Sandron, pleasure. Thank you for having us.
So Sandro, what are we having today?
I'm going to make Blood and Sand. It's a nice 1922 cocktail. It's made by Rudolph Valentinos. It came from movie Blood and Sand.
And what's in that one?
It's in whiskey, blended whiskey. We got nice whiskey like Chivas Regal, and we have a blended whiskey. Which one you like? I can make it with you.
Oh, but I think if I can, I'll go for the Chivas Regal.
Chivas Regal.
If that's okay.
Yeah,
That was my choice too.
Yeah.
No worries, sir.
All right.
So I am going to put this 20 ml of this. This is the herring cherry. It's a Danish liqueur, cherry liqueur. It's kind of very sweet liquor. I'm going to put this 20 ml of this. That's the sweet vermouth. I'm going to put 20 ml of this. And the last ingredient is the fresh orange juice. That's the more important. Now it's nicely shaken. And you can see this color of the cocktail. It's like, see, blood and sand.
Oh wow.
You see the color?
Yeah, that's a really good name for the cocktail, isn't it?
Yeah, that's why it's called like blood and sand.
You can hear that as soon as the orange
Yeah.
juice went in. You can hear it reacting.
So you can feel the whole flavor inside.
I think we can probably go ahead and enjoy this cocktail.
Yes, sir. Sure.
Thank you, Sandro.
Thanks,
Cheers,
Sandra.
Chris.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, pleasure. Thanks for having us.
So how do you feel it?
Wow. I wasn't expecting that. It's almost as though it's a grapefruit cocktail. I know it isn't, but the orange is seemingly reacting to the bitters in there.
Yeah.
And that's great because grapefruit is my favorite fruit. What do you think?
True. I mean, I have a bit of the The cherry liqueur, I can feel the cherry at the back of my palate, and the same with the bitterness. Again, as soon as you finish it off, you have this bitter texture in your mouth, which I love it. It's an incredible cocktail.
It's amazing how much that little bit of orange zest,
Yeah.
you can smell it and it completely changes the experience. You clearly know your stuff, but that is fantastic. I'm gonna have to try and make that myself at home, but I suppose this is the point, Carl, where you're probably getting a bit jealous.
Should we give it a go then?
Come on then, you can come try mine. Not too much.
But why don't you make something?
Yeah.
That's really nice. It's really nice. I think that's probably the first time I've been able to enjoy a bitter taste. I avoid it quite a bit. My palate's quite sweet.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a really, really nice balance.
Yeah.
Well, I think with whiskies, as you guys will definitely notice, it's becoming a lot less snobby.
Yeah.
So instead of just having to drink certain things, you can drink and enjoy what you like, rather than what you're supposed to like. Exactly. It's actually quite interesting that we've used Chivas Regal in our cocktail today, because only in the last couple of weeks, the Chivas brothers, who own the brand, have said that they're going to try and double production because of the Indian trade deal. And being such a big country, they're going to drink an awful lot of it when it's cheaper. So they're the first big company to actually say we're going to do something big about this to take advantage of the market growing. So it's really interesting actually that we've been able to enjoy that today, because if you're an Indian drinker of Chivas Regal, it's going to be a bit cheaper for you at some stage, hopefully in the not too distant future. Gentlemen, it's been a wonderful afternoon at Mathura in Westminster. We've learned a little bit more about the restaurant, which is incredibly interesting by itself. We've learned a little bit more about the whiskey market and how that's changing over time and evolving at a pretty rapid pace. But in my mind, the most exciting thing is that I've learned how to make a blood and sand. So Sandron, thank you very much for having me and for the cocktail. Pravin,
Chris,
thanks for your hospitality.
Pleasure.
I'll see you soon.
Pleasure.
Thanks, guys.